Alrighty, this is the video on how to start lip syncing, including like where to find the files and how to import things and then export them, and also the correct way to like download scenes from Google Drive and work on them and re-upload them in a way that people aren't working on the same thing, or just a way to kind of streamline it. Anyway, this is my first time kind of doing this, so bear with me. So I think the first thing you want to do is navigate to the file that you actually want to download and work on. So I believe it is 205. So all our scenes are in animation, and then animation again. And these are the different sequences we have. So 205, so sequence 2. And I believe it's this one here. I use the animatic a lot to go back and actually check what sequence and what shot we're working on. This is how I work out which one we're doing. So this is it here, and it's sequence 205. So I keep that up all the time, just to use as a reference, so I can visualize what all these things are. So you want to just download this whole thing here. I've already done this, so I'm not gonna. Download that whole folder and put it wherever you want it to go. I just put mine on the desktop. You'll get a zip file. Extract that. So you just right click and go to extract. It's probably different for you, but that's what it is on PC. And it'll give you this folder. And inside there's two versions. We constantly save. We iterate, so we can always go back to a previous version. So it'll give you these two. The latest one, there's V1 and V2. V2 is the latest one. So we want to go into that, and you want to open this file here. The one with the icon. The X stage is the actual file that you open for Harmony. So you want to open that up. I have already done that. This is what you'll get, I think, if you like set up your workspace like in that video that I linked to before. So first of all, we want to upload the audio because this has old audio, old dialogue in it. These buttons up here, when you scrub the timeline, by default I think they're off, but if you select these buttons, you can actually hear it when you scrub, which is pretty important to lip syncing, going back and forth. Can you hear that? I hope you can. And this one here just means when you actually play it, you'll hear it.
Basic Aussie right to work for the company that pays your bloody wages. Burchett.
And this one here just plays it forever,
right
just repeats
to work
it.
For the company that pays your bloody wages. Burchett.
So just have all three of those on, I think, when you're doing lip syncing. This is the timeline down here. So this is what you're looking at. You can see like the sound file and everything here. And this is what you use as a guide. So this is obviously some words, because there's actually some audio like information here as well. So use that as a guide to where to start words and whatnot. So first thing we want to do, this is the old dialogue. We don't want that anymore. We want to import the new dialogue. And you should download, you should have a copy of that already, because you're the one who shared that with me. But it's just the clip for the shot before. So you go File, Edit, Import, and Sound. And it'll, you just navigate to wherever it is. Mine's just on the desktop. So, just go OK. And it'll just drop it straight in the timeline. And we can either delete the old version or just mute it. It doesn't really matter. Same, you can just click on it and go delete or whatever. We can just leave it there though. This is how you mute it or unmute it over here, these buttons.
It's a basic.
So if you press Z and X, if you've set up like the keyboard shorts like in that video, that'll zoom in and out on the timeline. That's super useful for navigating it. Gives you a better perspective of what's going on. So I noticed the audio clip that we import
It's a basic Aussie right to work for the company that
is actually longer than the original dialogue we had. So we're going to have to extend the scene. And you do that with this red handle thing here. This controls like how big or how small the like area is that we're actually working in. So if we look here, the second one, I'm just going to delete. What the fuck did that do? Just delete it. Yes, goodbye. Alright, so now we just have the audio that we're supposed to be working with. So I just want to, I'm just extending it past where the dialogue ends. So I think it's somewhere around here. I think that's the last word.
Pays your bloody wages. That shit.
Yeah. Alright, so that's good. But our original version, the drawings end when the original version ends, so we're going to have to extend all the drawings. If you press O, like click on something in the timeline and press 0, it'll collapse everything, so you can select a whole bunch of stuff at once. And yeah, you just shift click the top bit and hold shift and then click. And then we just want to go to the last frame and press F5, and that should extend all of the drawings and all the pictures that we have here, like the chair and all that stuff, to be exposed to the very end. Okay, so now that that's done,
that shit. It's a basic Aussie right to work for the company that pays your bloody wages. That shit. It's a basic Aussie.
So that's good. Now it's lip syncing is pretty simple. It's a little bit time consuming to start with. I suggest having like a mirror next to you or something, like, and you can just like, mime the words to yourself. Into the mirror, so you can, I don't know, it's just easier. You sound out words and then try and find one that matches. But yeah, you start lip syncing with the transform tool over here, the one below like the little yellow man. You click on that, and then you click on the piece that you want to change the drawing substitutions for. So you click on the beak, and down here, we've got three things here. Drawing substitutions is the one you want to click on. And yeah, and it basically just brings up like a giant list of all the different drawing substitutions we have for that piece. So the way we don't really, if you've got the node view open, you don't need that at all. So you can just like grab this and slide it across to shut it and zoom in so we can see what we're doing. Wherever you want to have it. But yeah, try and make this as, just so you can like read everything clearly. So the way this is laid out is the code at the start, B34 or F34, that stands for like back or front. So front 34 is front 3/4. So that I think we're looking at, those are the ones we're using. So the first 4 are just like emotions, like angry, happy, neutral, and sad. So you can kind of ignore those unless like in between words you want to put it back to neutral. Sometimes you kind of use your best judgment on that, because sometimes like when you're talking, like your mouth hangs on the last word, it doesn't like shut up like straight away. So use your best judgment on that. But yeah, then it goes into the phonetics. So A and E, we've got R, E, F, V, F and V, L, M, B, and P, O, U, R, S, N, T, TH, and and those are the ones you've got to work with for that view. So these shapes aren't going to suit all things, all phonetics, but you're just going to have to like use your best judgment on which one fits the most. I had a little look at this before, and I noticed there's nothing for D, or nothing for D. So I think I had to like combine a couple of them together, like E. And you're just gonna have to pick the one that looks kind of the most like it. So the way you change drawing subs is, this is useful to know as well. So we want to navigate to the word that we want to work on. To isolate that area, so like when you press play, it'll just play like the whole timeline that you've got. If you want to change it so it only plays like a select area, there's like a little black like arrow head thing here. You can drag that to change the play area, and at the start there's another one. So when you press play,
Aussie right, took Aussie right, took Aussie.
It'll just play within that. So what you want to do is like drag it to like the few words you're kind of working on, and just zoom into that area. So we've got bird shit. Zoom in a little bit more. I can make it bigger. Click on the beak again to bring them back up. And yeah, we just want to so starts with a B, MBP. Click that one, and if you've got the drawing selected and you press, I think it's 0 on when your mouse is over the timeline, it'll actually zoom straight to what you're actually working on. So there's the beak drawing, and what you're doing when you go to each frame. What you're doing when you go to each frame and change the mouth shape is it changes the picture that you're looking at, and that's represented by putting like a slice in this one picture, because right now it's just holding that frame. But if you go to where you want to change it and click another one, it's put a slice there where it's changing it to a new picture. And if it's not in the right spot, you can drag that over, if that makes sense. So you can kind of fine tune it to where things actually start and finish. So you can kind of go through and do like a pretty broad sweep to start with, just to kind of get like the bigger sounds down, just as a guide, and then after that go back and add more nuance to it if you want, if you feel like it needs it, like a few mouth shapes in between the bigger sounds, the bigger shapes, to just make it look better, more realistic or whatever. But if it doesn't need it, like, don't do it. So yeah, I think it goes to B. His mouth is actually making noise here, so we're looking for I don't think we had anything that matched that. Maybe an R? E maybe? R here or something? R, bird. It's the same one. Bird.
Bad shit.
Need something that's like a D. Duh. Yeah, that's kind of a D shape, even though SNT, D, T. Yeah, that would work. I think a T is pretty similar to D.
That shit, that shit, that shit.
Ear. Looking for an ear. Um, and yeah, if you like click on this thing here, you can make it like kind of smaller or bigger. Might be worth doing so you can see the shapes a little bit easier. Yeah. Anyway, I won't spend too much time on this. I'll let you do that. And yeah, you just like drag these little arrows around to like isolate your play space, and yeah, just go, through all the words. Once you're happy with it, we want to go up to File and Save As, and we want to save it as a version 3. And then the last word here is basically just the stage that it's up to. So it would be something similar. Probably like V3. V3, and then maybe just LS for lip sync. Or you could spell it out if you wanted to. And just save that in here. I think this is the default folder that you downloaded. And once you've done that and it's saved, we want to go back to where is it? Yep, go back to our go back to the folder that you got it from, and copy it into here, the version that you've done, V3 edited. And then also, I believe, rename this part here to underscore lip sync V3, I believe. And that way, just at a quick glance, we can see, what stage it's up to once we're in this folder. And another thing I forgot to mention, I probably should have said at the start, doesn't really matter. Before you, once you copy it out and before you start working on it, you want to go to our Seagull Union shot breakdown, and you want to locate the scene and shot you're going to be working on. Basically, this document is to tell us at a glance who's working on what, and make sure no one is working on the same thing at the same time. Otherwise, we could be saving over each other's work and it could just be kind of fucked. So you want to find the shot you want to work on. The way it's set up is by complexity, so the red stuff going down to the bottom, more complex to less complex. So that means it's not in any order of scenes or shots, so you kind of just have to dig through it a little bit. The one we just worked on, or the one you will be working on, is 205. So sequence 205, it's got the camera, the actual framing and stuff. It's got the character that's in it. Sorry, is that? Yeah. Background. Okay, background and characters. Yep. What is this? A prop that's in it? Yep. Anyway, so it's 205, and when you rent it out, so you're going to be working on it, you want to scroll across to, I've made a new column for you, or for whoever's working on this, called lip sync. You want to just put your name in there. Where is it? 205. And it'll be black by default. You want to change it to red, and this means I'm currently working on it. And once you finish working on it and lock it in, you want to change that to black, and that means you're done doing your bit on it, and someone else can take it out if they want to. But that's basically the system, and you wanna do this before yeah, before you start working on it. Just so, yeah, again, people aren't working on the same shit at the same time, which is unlikely, but yeah, it's best just to avoid it. Yeah, so the same process will probably apply for most scenes. We're going to have to coordinate which ones are actually able to be lip synced. It'll probably be ones with just the boss or just Shano, which is, it's not that many. And even those ones, we have to really like make sure the timing is kind of right with them, because it all affects, like, if we have to make any changes to that, it affects things like further down the chain, and we don't want to go spend all this time like making lip sync frame perfect and stuff if it's just going to shift soon. So we're going to have a lot of like back and forth and really analyzing like which ones can we lock in and work on. But yeah, I think that is basically it. Sorry this was so long. It's kind of there's quite a few moving parts to this. But yeah, if you have any trouble, let me know, and yeah, I can help you out. All right. Cheers.